to live coaching. This is exciting. Okay, so I just wanted to go over the rationale and a little description of the live coaching first.
Okay.
And the rationale, of course, is live coaching is another opportunity for practicing and rehearsing the skill or the set of skills, but with available feedback and which really helps to define the strategy that you're working on. Just for the definition, the circuit visual is always a good visual for looking at the next number 5 live coaching. I'm sure you've gone over this before, but again, it's meeting outside the classroom, but in this case we're doing it in the classroom because it's an interview with a parent. And then, excuse me, and then we're going to plan the activity, make sure that we have everything in place that we need to for you, for the parent who's participating in the interview. And then you, the coachee, will be demonstrating the skill as we've detailed it in the skill set rubric and in a live setting. So I will be observing and supporting you however I can. And then, so we do the briefing and then we do the actual activity. And then we meet afterwards and debrief. And that's a good chance for us to review the use of the skill. Okay?
All right.
And so, are there any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay. So, just real quickly, I wanted to go over the skill set rubric as you did during the behavior rehearsal. And you have a copy of that
I
too.
do, yeah.
And just quickly, I just want to commend you again at all of the skills that you met. And definitely the greeting the parents was met. And you felt like it worked really well. Number 2, we both felt that was partially met, and the only item, do you remember the only item that wasn't?
I do. It was that I didn't ask, do you have any questions about what we're going to do?
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
We remember very specifically.
Yeah. And there might be some way I can support you in that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So I liked the way that you created your family interview outline, so that you had it in a style that met your needs too, but by still meeting the criteria. And then let's see, when you conducted the actual interview, you met all of those. And you recognized that you wanted to add something to, number 3, before the next question. I want to make sure you have time to think about it so you don't feel pressured to be rushed.
Yeah.
And I thought that went really smoothly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as needed, questions or clarifications, because some parents may not need them. So, and in that case, they weren't needed, so that works well too. So not assuming that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And number 4, you met that one, and great segue from the comment when I was the parent in the interview, and I was talking about Kevin's athleticism, and then you made that transition from that comment to the next question. And you didn't talk too fast, there was plenty of wait time, and like you said, it felt like a real interview.
I did.
Then number 5 and 6 too were met. And was there anything else that you noticed? Okay. So it all went really smoothly. And I think it'll go very smoothly again today with your real parent.
I think it will too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So let's go ahead and discuss a little bit of the plan and how would you like me to be involved? I mean, we know that I need to man the camera, but how else can I be involved in that?
I'm thinking in my head really fast.
Sure. Take your time.
You already have helped in that. You set up the tables and the chairs, so that's done for me. I didn't have to do that today. So I feel like that's set. I don't have any special needs that I can think of with this parent, so I think things are really set there. Again, I think just kind of the quiet fly on the wall, watching and seeing, to then be able to come back later and watch the video and then be able to get those kinds of insights, or maybe you could have done this, or maybe you could have done that after it's happened while we're watching the video. And it's nice to have the video for that purpose.
Okay. And so again, you don't want me to interrupt, just be the fly on the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how about for the one question or the one part that was unmet because of not remembering to ask the parent if they had any questions? Is there anything in addition that you'd like me to do for that, like a visual?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I just feel like that's just my responsibility to be looking at my thing, because I have it on there.
Okay.
I have it on there to remind me, so I just need to learn how to use that.
Okay. Very good. All right. So, and as far as the tables and the chairs go in the future, you'll
Be setting that up myself.
set that up
Yeah.
yourself, or you might have an assistant teacher helping you, or others that can help you with that. So just something to think about. And let's see. Anything else that you want to change as far as the seating arrangement?
No, I think everything
Yeah, because I just want to make sure that we
looks good and feels comfortable.
talk about the setting, who's going to be involved, and what you're expecting during this. Since it will be somebody new and it will be a real parent and also a teacher, so she's teacher / parent. So that's who also participating, just you, me, and the parent who's also a teacher. Is there anything you want to do to prepare her?
The only thing I'm going to do different from kind of the scripted thing that's here is that when she comes in and I'm greeting her and thanking her for coming and guiding her to her seat, I'll do that as normal, but I will probably be adding into the explanation part that I will let her know who you are, and kind of do that introduction to you. And I have already kind of briefed her as to the fact that it's going to be videotaped, so she knows that, and she knows the reasons why it's videotaped, for me to be able to look back and see what I needed to be able to change, and for you to be able to submit to your supervisor who's helping you through the coaching part.
Okay.
To know. So I've already spoken with her about that.
Good.
So she'll be kind of expecting and knowing it's there.
Okay, and we can do
So
the
I'll just
other
do
part.
a quick recap. She is videotaping it.
Right.
Just
And we
to
can do that as
remember.
part of the brief. So just before we get started, we can do that part
Okay.
before we actually have her walk through the door, and we'll videotape it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Great. Let's see. So, okay, I understand what my role is, and do you have any other expectations during this process? Like, what are you expecting might happen? Because it's a little bit different than me being the practice parent.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting, and I know that especially because of what the skill is in interviewing a parent, that it's going to be very different every time I do it. As far as what kind of answers I'm going to be getting, and what kind of ideas I'm going to be able to be kind of coming up with on the spot, to be connecting questions and leading and guiding the conversation. So I feel pretty confident about kind of that whole round, but I know there's a possibility of it possibly being really difficult to keep someone, the parent, on topic. I can see that it could be possible for a parent to be very short-answered and not giving a whole lot. And so, I'm aware that those kinds of things might happen as we go through.
And that's looking at her, Leticia, as a parent. And then what about, since the dynamics are even more, a little different in that she's not only a parent, but she's also a teacher here. Is there anything that you might expect?
I expect it to go much easier because she already has some of the knowledge of Pyramid Plus, and she knows why you're here and what I'm doing. She already has kind of the background understanding and buy-in to it. So I think it's going to go a lot smoother, which is why I kind of chose her as a first person to gain confidence with somebody who I feel it's going to go smooth with,
Okay. So
take on a challenge later after having some successes under the belt, people who you know it's going to be a little bit easier with.
Okay. So even considering those two roles that she has, do you feel like there's anything different that you need to do to make her feel more comfortable? Or is it more like you said, it's going to be easier?
The only thing that I felt like I needed to do was give her the information about that it's being videotaped and really explaining why, so she wouldn't be intimidated by that.
Prior.
By that thought, yeah, or be nervous about, why are you videotaping me and who's going to see this, and those kinds of things, as far as privacy or anything like that. And again, because she is a teacher here and knows about Pyramid Plus and knows about what you're doing, trying to become a coach in those things too, it was very easy for her to understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was the one thing that I did feel like I needed to do. The one thing that does seem kind of awkward to me about it is the, hey, how are you doing, Leticia? Okay, can you go out in the hall and pretend to come in again? That feels a little awkward, but I think she'll be understanding kind of what it is and knowing again the reason why.
Okay. Well, okay, so considering that, is there something that you could say ahead of time to help put her into the role?
No, because she's already a parent and stuff, I think she'll be there.
Okay.
And I think she'll be fine.
Okay, so it's maybe more awkward for you than it will be for her.
It's just going to be that first little, I'm going to say hi again, and it's going to feel weird.
Okay.
But after that, once we get into the questions and those kinds of things,
all right,
then it's just going to be her being her.
And then how do you think that the skills and the skill set rubric and the processes are intended to support a culture of inclusion?
I think it's supporting a culture of inclusion because I'm really asking what is important to this parent for their child to be included. Because what I might be feeling is inclusion the parent might not be because of cultural practices or or just because of different desires, different specific needs, because every kid has their own personality. Someone might be shy.
Yes.
It could be temperament. It could be just personal preference of a family member.
Right.
Any of those kinds of things. I think it's a much more complete version of what inclusion is supposed to mean.
Good. So I think this will be very helpful in the future.
I do, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I was trying to think about some of the differences. I mean, we talked about culture, and were there any other differences in family members that have come up recently, other than culture?
I think just because the thing that just kind of popped up into my mind is that we were just doing kindergarten registration last night, and so I have a lot of parents who were asking me about different kindergarten teachers and things like that, and some of them were even commenting themselves that my child had this teacher, but I'm not sure if he's going to be the right fit. If this teacher is going to be the right fit for the next child, and so I was able to have that conversation with a lot of parents, both them bringing it up or me bringing it up. And if you ask me who my favorite teachers are, it's going to be this one and this one, and I like these teachers for your child because, or I think these might work better for your child because, and trying to give them a basic, and it wasn't just about how long the teacher's been there or whether the kids think they're the favorite or something like that. But we found a lot that my favorite teacher over there is Carrie Denry, because I've worked with her a lot, and so I'm still really close with her. And so because of that, I know that she is the only kindergarten teacher who still incorporates free play. No other teacher has free play at all. And I just find that play-based education is so important. And I used to just feel like I wanted to recommend her to everyone because she gets early childhood, she gets that. And the other people are very much more sit-down academic. But the other thing that I've really realized over the past couple